Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So some of you have been wondering how the Psycho River Killer really got away with twisting and manipulating and gaslighting and being able to have like this full control over her ex-husband, who unfortunately passed away after a diving accident in the river. Well, I wanted to give you the opportunity to hear for yourself some recordings of the telephone conversations that she had. So on the surface, many people, when you listen to the way that Korean is spoken, you really wouldn't be able to pick up on things that sound a little bit suspicious because a lot of it sounds polite. But there is some sort of a verbal pattern that I have noticed among people who kind of like in the world that she was inhabiting, where, or in general, like people that you run across here in Korea that seem to be nice and polite, but they're trying to convince you by massaging the kind of situation. And notice how I'm slowing down my speech and kind of like talking a little bit more syrupy, so it kind of has this feeling of like, you know, you're being blanketed with some sort of like sweet poison. And usually they'll be talking like more in kind of like smaller tones, like they're trying to let you in on a secret or something like that. But I just wanted to let you hear some of the conversations and just see, you know, whether it's the tone or not, just like how she acted, how she interacted with her ex-husband, and then also the media that she called in order to try to get attention on the non-payment of her insurance claim. So the first recording is between her and her ex-husband, and some of you are saying like, you know, didn't he kind of try to call things off or like distance? Well, he actually did, but the way that he couched it here was that basically saying like so broke, and that he wasn't even concerned about her hitting him. So I'll let her and him do all the talking, and then we'll come back and discuss.
우리 그냥 그만할까? 헤어질까? 이렇게 그렇게 좀 지치더라고. 그래서 그냥
아니, 오빠 정말 근데 나 그만 만나고 싶어?
아니 그런 건 아닌데 여보가 어제 나 그 때린 거나 그것 때문에 그런 건 1도 아니야.
내 실례해서 미안해.
너무 돈이 없으니까. 돈이 너무 없으니까. 아니 빚이 너무 많아. 저기 회사 빚도 너무 지금 얼마인지도 모르겠어.
오빠
한 7, 8천 되는 것 같은데.
So here, yes, you could see that he is sort of creating a boundary, but still he's kind of trapped in that layer because he feels as if he has no value other than continuing to give his wife these funds. And so I think he feels really upset by that, and he feels, I guess, maybe kind of got warped in the way that she was thinking. Very sad. So the next recording, though, is even worse because it's about his paying the rent as being like a bad thing in the eyes of his wife when she's demanding that he hand over his paycheck to her, and she got mad. So let's listen to this.
여보세요?
얘기해.
오빠 지금 지금 줘야 되거든?
200만 원?
100만 원 일단 먼저 주고 그 다음에 나머지를 그걸 할게.
내일 주면 안 될까?
안 될 것 같아.
지금 얘기면 어떡해.
어제부터 얘기했잖아.
아니 근데 급한 거 아니라고 했잖아.
아니 그런 급한 게 아니라 그런 심각한 일이 아니라 이거지. 왜냐 어차피 29일 날이랑 그 다음 주에 나오니까 우리 가는 것도 원래는 1인당 비용이거든? 내는 게 다 반반씩 되는 거잖아. 한 명씩 데리고 오면.
내일 아침까지 줄게.
그냥 이렇게 하면 돼. 내가 나머지를 빌릴게. 빌릴 테니까 오빠 지금 월급 있는 거 일단 주고 일요일날 들어온다며 어차피.
지금 160만 원에서 이제 방세랑
냈어?
100만 원 남았는데 그러면?
냈다고? 내가 급한 거라 얘기했잖아.
그럼 당장 오늘.
이건 바로 줘야 된다고 얘기했잖아, 이거는.
당장 오늘인 줄 몰랐잖아.
내지 말고 있으라니까, 좀.
So why did she say, I told you to stop paying the rent? Well, because if you stop paying the rent, you usually put a deposit, and you probably put a deposit of about 10 million won. If you don't pay the rent, then the landowner will take your rent out of the deposit until it's zero. And so I think that was her strategy, and she was mad that, she suggested that to him, and he wasn't following it, and there's no empathy whatsoever for his plight. He has been so abandoned, and he has been so kind of taken advantage of, and all of this was under the guise of love, but she was out there going off with other guys and making plans against this guy, his life. And so how crazy is that she, it does show that literally she had no feelings for him and was really just using him. So the next recording I wanted to play for you was her call to the media, to Hot Daddy's show. They have that also on their program as what the conversation was between her and the producers and how she was making her case. And you can kind of hear how she was being recalling the events, sounding innocent, but yeah, you can kind of tell. I think now that we know what we know, it sounds a little shady, but on the surface, if you believed her, you kind of can't tell, but there are, bits and pieces of how she seems very manipulative here.
제가 배우자랑 8년 동안 연애를 했었는데, 그러니까 제가 주말 부부식으로 왔다 갔다 했거든요. 중간에 반찬 갖다 줄 때나 아니면 주말에는 꼭 보거나 놀러 가거나 했었고.
마지막으로 다이빙 했구나 이러고서는 이제 바깥쪽으로 나가자 하고 뒤돌았다가 그 짧은 순간에 이제 뒤돌아봤는데 물결이 조용했던 것 같아요. 저희 집이 많이 가난하고 안 좋거든요. 기초생활수급자다 보니까 오빠가 많이 도와준 부분도 있고 또 저희가 좀 돈을 모아야겠다 이런 생각이 별로 없어서 여행을 다니고 막 그랬거든요. 그래갖고 아무래도 빚이 좀 생겼죠. 가평경찰서에서는 내사종결이 된 거고 뜬금없이 일산경찰서에서 그렇게 오더라고요. 보험사에서 저를 막 살인 및 무슨 그걸로 걸었더라고요.
제가 금감원에 지금 민원 신청 넣어놨었는데 보험사 측에서도 금감원에 답변할 테니까 더 이상 할 말 없다 이런 식으로 그냥 끝내더라고요. 그쪽에서 얘기하는 거는 이제 보험금을 노리고 어떻게 했다 이런 식으로.
So you can see she was hedging her bets, what part of her story she needed to focus on to make sure that she was innocent, she had turned away. So basically she's saying she didn't witness any kind of shenanigans that may have gone in the water, and that was contradicted by the forensic evidence. When she said it was just quiet, she's probably trying to emphasize that it was natural, it was an accident and not any kind of a struggle between himself and some of the other guys, or just himself, kind of not being able to swim. I just wanted to show you, beyond the saucy headlines of both instances of how gaslighting tone in Korean may sound in these types of situation where the target is mainly males. What do you guys think? Leave your comments below and make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye, guys.
Tune in next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Find us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Love you.